Now, there's a number of organizations who are fundraising for Hillary Clinton, massive amounts, as I'm about to show you. Two in particular, two PACs. One is Priorities USA Action, another one is Ready for Hillary. And what they're really ready to do is raise a ton of money. The people involved in Priorities USA Action, the guys who run that, are Jim Messina, who's Obama's former campaign manager. They're on the board and they're co-chairs, and former Michigan Governor Jennifer Granholm. Now, I'm biased in this case. Jennifer Granholm and I used to work together at Current TV, and I think she's a wonderful human being. Nonetheless, the whole point of all these organizations is to raise as much money as possible to drown out competition. That's the reality. Now, David Brock, who we featured here, was also part of this process. He runs Media Matters and several other progressive organizations who also raise money, but he's also ready for Hillary. So he wanted to join their board. He wanted to help them raise money. But now they've had a very public falling out. And David Brock wrote a letter explaining all the things that are going on behind the scenes. First of all, let me quote from Politico as to the aims of these different PACs. It should aim, according to the people who put it together, to raise as much as $500 million to eviscerate prospective Clinton rivals in the primary and general elections. Now, for the people running these organizations, I get their motivation. This is the rules of the game as we have them, and they're playing within these absurd rules. But look at what we've done to our democracy. Years before you even vote in a primary, let alone a general election, people are collecting hundreds of millions of dollars behind the scenes to end the election. To end the election way before it even starts. Who's running against Hillary Clinton? We don't even know. It doesn't matter. They've already been eviscerated, because their people are busy raising hundreds of millions of dollars to crush them before they even get started. This is grotesque. This is bribery in a mass scale. You wonder why Hillary Clinton is still giving speeches to Goldman Sachs and getting paid for all this and still reaching out to all the fat cats and the incredibly powerful people in the country. Because she needs $500 million to crush all of her opponents. Because we've legalized bribery. This is insanity. So now they have the cat fight. And did I say cat fight? Did I mention that? And David Brock says that current and former priorities officials were behind the specious and malicious attack on the integrity of these critical organizations. Okay, let me decipher that for you. He's saying they were messing with our donors. Now, I'm also raising money for Media Matters and all these other things. And how dare you go behind my back and mess with my donors? And apparently one of the things that these PACs were doing for Hillary is that they're fundraisers who get a commission for the amount of money that they raise. So apparently if they raise money, according to the New York Times and a different story, for groups like Media Matters, one of the people who does that gets 12.5% commission. Now that outrages some people. I'm actually not outraged by that. That person has a very specific job, to raise money. She gets paid for that job, okay? The way she gets paid is through commission, so that it incentivizes her to raise more money. I'm not at all outraged. Now it turns out, according to the New York Times, she was charging less for the Hillary camp. And that leads to part of why David Brock and others are upset, and that's part of what leads to the cat fight. Did I say cat fight? So all of this is about, wait, I meant to raise more money for my political causes because we have voters and what people care about. No, the real competition is behind the scenes for who's going to raise the most pile of cash. And mind you, I don't even disagree with any of these people. I really like Jennifer Granholm. I know David Brock. I've interviewed David Brock many, many times on this show. I got nothing against David Brock. I like David Brock. But the whole system is perverse. These aren't even Republicans. These are the Democrats. You should see the Republican side. All right, one more from Brock's letter. Priorities is trying to damage his group's fundraising efforts, I told you, while presumably enhancing the priority zone. Frankly, this is the kind of dirty trick I've witnessed in the right wing and would not tolerate then. Our Democratic presidential nominee deserves better than the people who would risk the next election and our country's future for their own personal agendas. Believe me, it's everybody's personal agenda to get the money, Lebowski, and that's what this is about. So they, funny enough, put out little letters afterwards saying, oh, no, we could get back together. I mean, as long as we figure out how to split the cash between us, eventually we'll make amends and David Brock might come back on the board of these groups and everybody gets along hunky-dory, as long as the pile of cash continues to grow. This is not how democracy is supposed to work. The way that it's supposed to work is that they're supposed to appeal to the voters and they're supposed to represent the voters. These guys are all about the donors. He's right. Back when he was a Republican hitman, it was even worse on the Republican side, and it is still today, right? But this is the Democratic side. This is the side that's supposed to be more progressive. And what are they obsessed with? Well, they're obsessed with what makes victors, right? They care about winning. And in this system, that's the money. And that's what leads to the catfights, and that's what leads to this perverse system that we have now. Anybody know a group that could change all that? You got it. wolf-pac.com. It's not a partisan group, man. So I'm amused every once in a while. Oh, yeah? So would you stop George Soros from giving money? Of course I would. Oh, yeah? Would you stop the unions from giving money? Yes, I would. Because the whole point is, it's not supposed to be about the money. It's supposed to be about us, the people. It's supposed to be a democracy. It's supposed to be America. And we've completely and utterly lost track of that. Democrats and Republicans alike. Come join me. Let's fight back. wolf-pac.com. Go.